We are live here on the Facebook page of the Law Offices of Berman and Berman. I am your host, Evan Golden, Golden TV. Happy Thursday. I got my Throwback Thursday shirt on. If you don't know who this is, shame on you. Who is it?
I have no.
Come on.
Oh, it's the Full House.
That's correct.
Sissy, what's her name?
You don't know the name? Stephanie Tanner,
Stephanie
man.
Taylor,
Stephanie Tanner. It's funny because now the Fuller House show that they remade, everybody knows it now, but we're on the Throwback Thursday. Let me tell you who is in the studio with me. He took a little break from the trial, the courtroom. Thank you for joining me for a couple minutes. I know we only have you a short time today. Joe, what is going on, sir? Attorney Esquire in the house.
What's up, Evan? For those who don't know me, my name is Joseph Schulz, and I'm a partner here and an attorney at the law firm of Berman and Berman.
That sounds accurate, absolutely. So you are a lawyer here. There's all types of lawyers, obviously. I hear trial, I hear litigation attorney. I honestly not sure all the difference. Can you kind of just elaborate what type of attorney are you, what separates you and differentiates you from other attorneys?
Surprisingly, not all attorneys are created equal. I, for instance, actually know where the courthouse is and actually go there and talk to the big scary person in the black robe sometimes. But in all seriousness, this is now my 9th year at Berman and Berman, but I've been practicing law. I'm old. Like 16 years now. The only area of law I've ever done is personal injury, which means you're a civil trial attorney technically. Personal injury, as you know, is slip and falls. Pretty much any injury I've seen over these years that we can handle. And if we do handle it, as you know, we take cases on contingency, meaning we don't pay or we don't get paid and pay for all this elaborate studio equipment unless we actually win. So if we're taking your case, we have a high probability of being successful and getting compensation for our clients. It's hundreds of $1 million that we've obtained and I've obtained over the years. Very proud of that. So personal injury is kind of a broad spectrum. Like I said, it's mainly car accidents is what most people think of. But like I said, I've tried numerous cases. I'm eligible to be board certified. I just have to get around to doing the paperwork for that. But like I said, not all attorneys are created equal. The attorneys here, especially me, are active within their cases, meaning we're not just advertising, putting up billboards, sitting back and churning cases. We do have a high volume, as you know, but at the same time we get max volume or max value for our cases, and so we take pride in that. So do I.
That's very educational because people automatically probably the first question they say, well, how much do you cost? And it doesn't work like that.
Doesn't cost anything, really.
Right. That's the crazy thing. It doesn't cost anything. That's kind of interesting.
I mean, it does technically, but it's kind of like selling a house. I guess if you're a real estate agent, you don't get paid till the house closes. So it's kind of the same with us. I mean, I've had cases that can close in a week if it's low limits and serious injuries. I've had cases that have lasted. I'm still going from 2013. It just matters. So you need to have an attorney, a law firm that actually has attorneys that try cases, more importantly, because the insurance companies know what law firms lay over and just churn cases, get settlements, and move on. And they want to know that you have the resources to it's expensive to go to trial. And if you have 300-400 cases in litigation at any kind of time, you're spending a lot of money. So make sure if you're listening or watching out here that you contact me. I give my cell phone out even on the radio show that we're about to talk about, but it's 561-716-2496, 561-716-2496, or I'm sure Evan will put on some graphics with our firm number. You can always
that's pretty interesting though. Just straight alone that you're providing your personal cell. So when you talk about, because I've heard people say, yeah, I'm calling you because I spoke to an attorney and he said he'd get back to me in 3 or 4 days. I mean, look, when you need an attorney, when you need legal services, you kind of need it now.
The best time to hire an attorney or at least speak to an attorney is from the scene of the accident. I had a friend of mine whose wife was in a really bad accident. Again, obviously call the cops, make sure you're not in imminent danger as far as your medical is concerned. Make sure they take care of that. But call me first, or any lawyer really, but call me first before calling the insurance company because you never know. Say the wrong thing right at the beginning and you can shoot yourself in the foot like that.
See, take these notes, people. Understand. So right then and there, you could shoot yourself in the foot. Now, you're now taking your skills and your experience. I'm excited to hear about Ask Joe, the radio show. I need to hear about where we could hear it. Tell me all about the details, and this is exciting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think before when we used to do the commercials, my commercials were, and I think you can still find them on YouTube if you Google them. Some of them are pretty clever. They are pretty good. Ask Joe is obviously my name, but Ask Joe radio show was developed. I had a radio show with my other firm that I'd host, and it was helpful, I thought, because you had people could call in during the live show to get legal advice. Now, I'm not going to have an answer on the spot for everything, but I started this about December, so now it's about almost 6 months. We've actually had some clients from the show, or I've had some clients that have needed my injury help. But we also have guests on. Hopefully you'll be a guest one time, just as I am for you. See, there you go.
That'd be great.
So we try to inform. We try to inform and pitfalls of what kind of car insurance I have. I try to have a topic every week, and then I encourage people to call in live. It's every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Again, it's called Ask Joe Radio Show. It's on the True Oldies channel. There's 2 frequencies. I think it's 95.9 and 106.9, depending on where you live. I think it goes from about Port St. Lucie to Boca, where we are. So anyone watching or listening to this, tune in and feel free to call the radio show. The website, www.askjoeradioshow.com, will be up in about 2 or 3 weeks, and you're going to help me with that. So that way, we can link up these podcasts, do this anytime, and anyway, get the word out, not only of our firm, but, we're here to inform as well. This isn't just entertainment necessarily.
So but let's go back to during the show. I mean, you are really putting the words free consultation, you're putting action behind those words. So you're giving your cell phone and people could call in and literally ask you any legal question. You're providing legal advice.
Like I say, we have a topic. Every week I come up with something I think people are affected by. A lot of it is injury, if not all of it, but a lot of it is specific to a certain thing. Like, you've heard the term full coverage before, and people, I have no problem. I have good insurance. I have full coverage. Well, people don't understand full coverage in Florida doesn't mean you're covered under every scenario. So I say this a million times on my show, and I can't stress enough. Any insurance that you have, first of all, other than life insurance, because we're all going to die. Well, even if you have a term, your term could term out before you die. But life insurance you're definitely going to use. And living in South Florida, because you know how awesome the drivers are down here. Everybody can drive, and no one's reckless at all. Point being is you're probably going to make a claim against your auto insurance in your lifetime should you drive. Whether it's you, somebody who lives in your family, if you have kids.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable. So you have to be well covered. Now, not everybody can afford high premiums or high rates or high limits, but call us because uninsured motorist is the most important. People don't know that. That covers you if you're injured in an accident and the other driver doesn't have insurance. And when I say doesn't have insurance, people say, well, you're required to. But
isn't that the law?
Yeah, believe it or not, people break the law.
Well, what's the punishment if you're driving right now in the streets of Florida with no insurance and you get pulled over?
If you get pulled over, depending on, if it's a first-time offense, you could lose your license. But people even drive without license around here. You have to protect yourself. Don't think you're going to get hit. If you get hit, you're going to get hit by a Walmart truck because they're going to be covered. Most accidents happen between, normal pedestrians and people. Even if they do have what's called liability insurance that will cover you bodily injury, it may not be enough. I mean, if you're in a family of 4 and you're all in the hospital, what's that medical bill going to be like? $100,000 doesn't go very far. So uninsured motorist protects you in those scenarios.
Now, they say, is this an accurate statement that Florida has the worst when it comes to numbers of people that are either completely have no insurance or underinsured?
Correct. I think the percent, especially if you break it down to the Tri-County area, Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami. We have all walks of life here. You have the very filthy rich, but like I said, don't say, hey, if I get hit, I'm pretty sure they're going to have. I've had Rolls Royces that don't have good insurance on it. I've had clunkers.
Well, I think what happens, Joe, is that insurance agents don't tell customers. Correct. By the way, you might want to add uninsured motorists to the coverage because
they don't make a lot of money.
That's not their moneymaker, right? Exactly. That's probably where they lose their money because it's pretty. They
don't lose money.
All right, so they're not losing money.
It's like a casino. If they're making a bet, they're making money off of it.
Fair enough. They're conglomerates. I see them sponsoring everything in the world, so they're obviously making money in the world. So, listen. Bottom line is, call your insurance agent or call Joe now.
It's free.
Joe, will you make sure that people have
Absolutely. the right? 716-2496 here in Palm Beach County. Call me anytime, and I pride myself not only my radio listeners, my clients as well. If I don't get back to you within 24 hours, look, it's 2019. The technology, there's no reason it should take more than 24 hours to get back to anybody, whether it's a client or anybody. Ex-girlfriend, whatever it is.
No, you live by that. So you're way ahead of that in time schedule. So bottom line is, like we were saying, make sure you have uninsured motorist coverage, coverage. it is affordable, and it's important, especially down here in South Florida. So Ask Joe Radio Show is going to be exciting stuff. It is Thursday. It is
6
throwback
p.m.
6 p.m. It is
Tuesday.
Go ahead. Tuesday. Go ahead. Promote it. Promote the radio show.
And listen to Joseph Schulz every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Now,
He's trying to delay me right now because here we go with a Throwback Thursday video of Ask Joe the radio show. Here we go. This is a Throwback Thursday. You will only see this.
Still have the red phone though.
There it is.
See, sharp looking guy. But see, see, so is Ask Joe. And
you still have the same cell phone?
Yeah, see, cell phone number's still the same. There you go.
Yeah, so you don't have to change it for any psycho.
The red phone doesn't actually ring though. It was just a prop for all full disclosure.
I love it.
But yeah, that was fun, and radio and these podcasts are a nice medium rather than having to spend money on TV advertising, which is not good. But anyway.
Well, I know I only have you for, I think they say, I have you for 5 more minutes. I really wanted to get into it. You're a sports agent, an NFL agent, and
sounds glamorous, doesn't it?
It does. So many people call me or tell me. I just went to so many of these intern fairs, and all these young boys. I want to be a sports agent. I'm going to be an NFL agent.
For you? Yeah. And I was like that at one time too. I remember the Rosenhaus brothers came to my law school, and everyone's like, "How do we work for you?" And they're like, "Nah." But I get it now. So yeah, I played college basketball. I love sports. I'm from Palm Beach County. I played every sport imaginable at this point. And my life, still try to play basketball, which we lost last night. But we won the championship this last year. Play soccer on Sundays, golf a lot as much as I can. Try to stay active. My point being
very athletic.
Is I love sports, so for the most part. And I thought representing athletes, because it's kind of similar to what we do here, is that we work on a percentage, and you're kind of in it with the athlete, just like you are with your client. You're in it together. You're not getting paid by the hour. So you have a vested interest in the outcome. So when you represent a player, you're kind of invested in him as well as almost like having a racehorse, you know what I'm saying? So, you have to make sure they stay out of trouble, they get a good advice, because these kids are usually not savvy in the world. Most 22-year-old kids aren't, right? But certainly some from, rough neighborhoods, tough families. So it's nice to, be able to kind of guide them in the right direction. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. But I can tell you this, the guys that get it, that really listen, open up, are the guys that you see signing these big contracts, Either that or they're ridiculous athletes.
Well, that's the thing is, like, because to me, they're all ridiculous athletes. They're all running insane 40s. We're talking microseconds that separate, and they're all jumping, running hard. It seems that it's all kind of above the shoulders, or having the right agent to kind of guide them and walk them through. Even everything from, I guess, even how do they get like a tryout? Like, oh yeah, go get this combine.
Yes, that's what people think. Like, give me a chance, give me a chance.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time from the guys, that maybe did. But the draft just came up, as you know, last week. So the cycle of the NFL kind of just started. It really for the new year. It's rookie mini camps this weekend and next weekend. Then there's a little break for everybody, and then the training camps are going to be in a month or so. And that's when, so it's kind of, once the draft is over, it's almost like the end. Actually, I should say the draft starts the season. And that's when they fill up roster spots and all that. And I have people that, didn't get picked in the draft, or, I just need a shot. But I'm like, you know what? You had 4 years of high school. You had at least 4 years of college. You've had kind of your shot. So, not everyone's for the NFL. And the problem is as you know, that AFF or AAF league just folded. There's not a lot of minor leagues.
There's no really options.
The minor league is really
there's Canadian.
There's college.
It's college.
And they probably make more money in college than anyway.
Whoa, we're not going to go there on the show.
Not me, these kids. But my point being is, you have the CFL. But even then, people are like, "Oh, I'll just go to Canada if I don't make the NFL." Well, it's tough. It's kind of a different game. And like I said, and you got to stay healthy. And it is what it is. It's a numbers game, just like anything else. And football in general. Your career is going to be the shortest of all the major sports. So I tell them, I'm like, play baseball, please. If you can swing a bat and catch and run,
you
see
those baseball contracts.
Like whoever the agent is for the Oklahoma kid who went number 1. What was he thinking? Wow. Go play baseball, buddy. But whatever, if he likes football that much and wants to get hit by 300-pound guys all day.
They were saying how
his life.
Rosenhaus promised one of his players like a top 10 pick, and he dropped to the second round. The mama slapped him, and there was a whole fight at the draft party. I was listening on the radio.
That's a misnomer. The rookies especially, it is what it is. It's all slotted. People don't realize that too. So if you are a top first-round pick, you're going to be an instant millionaire pretty much through your signing bonus. But once even you get to that second, third round, the salaries are all the same. People don't understand that sometimes. So, you know, the number one pick, Kyler Murray, is going to make the exact same amount of money as the last pick in the draft for salary. There's no negotiating that. The signing bonus is what's obviously a huge differential. But people think, you know, this guy's playing on Sundays, he's a millionaire, a multimillionaire. It's not true. If you're on the bottom of the roster, you're fighting pretty much for a roster spot every day of the week. Yes, all you see on ESPN are the big contracts, but you're talking about less than 15% of the whole league. And there's approximately about 2,500 players. Less than 15% of those have guaranteed multi-million-dollar contracts. Most of them are either on rookie scale.
That's something new. That just started, what, 3 years ago?
No, it started, what was it? The last rookie to get paid was the Oakland 09 or 2010. Sam Bradford. Bradford was the last one. And after that, everything was slotted. Now, again, if you're the number one pick in the draft, you're going to make about a $28 million signing bonus. That's nice. But at the same time, that might be your only contract. You play baseball, you're going to make $400 million.
Now, just tell me a little bit some of the rules. Like, hey, I saw this kid on my kid's flag football team, and he's going to be making the NFL. He's awesome. Can I sign someone like now and represent them?
No,
like,
people.
I don't understand that.
Yeah, that's a good question because a lot of kids are like, I have this my son or whatever is in high school and he's a stud or whatever. An agent can talk to anybody. Okay, people don't realize that either. Oh, am I allowed to talk to you?
Yeah, I thought that was like an NCAA violation. I thought if you talk to an athlete and your agent, they'll never be allowed to go to college and you ruin their chance at anything.
Not at all. And in fact, it's really the earlier the better, so you can guide them if you think they have the potential. The difference being with football, you just don't know. You know what I mean? You have because it's such a physical sport that, you know, basketball, if you have a 12-year-old kid who's 6'10", who's coordinated, yeah, you kind of know. If you have a football player, he might be 6'8" or whatever, but he might not love football. You never know, is what I'm saying. So it is nice to get with them early. But you can, if anyone's watching this or listening, if you have a kid in college who's a freshman or sophomore and you think he has potential, then you can call me and I can give you advice. You can't sign anything and you can't give him anything for benefit. You can't give him money. I can't send him flowers or.
Is it a standard percentage of? Like 10%, 15%?
No, it's only 3% in the NFL as well. Exactly. So you got to do the numbers, and this is another topic for another day. As far as being an agent in the NFL, it's not really worth it per se. But I don't do it for the money. It's
right. You do it because you have a passion. Who's your NFL team that you root for?
Dolphins. What do you think?
You're a Dolphins fan?
Of course I am.
So
I was at the game with you.
I know we went to game. I just want to make sure that's your team because that's my team as well.
I technically I root for the Browns as well, and now everybody's jumping on their bandwagon.
Yeah.
But my dad was from Cleveland and Miami, so I have that background. But I mean, if push comes to shove, it's the Dolphins all the way.
So I've kind of made myself I don't want to say it's a commitment, but I won't ever go to a Super Bowl and watch it live unless the Dolphins are in it. Will I get to experience that in
next
my lifetime?
year?
The Dolphins will be so you're predicting right now?
Absolutely not.
The Dolphins will be the first team to play a home Super Bowl.
No. Unless half the NFL and all the quarterbacks get injured, then maybe we have a chance. But probably not this time. But I think now that they redid it, I think probably every 4 or 5 years we're going to get a Super Bowl. So there you go. I'm predicting the next time we host it. So 2000, let's say, what are we in? 2024. If we host it, we're going to be the only home team to have it.
Well, that's not. We're saying we're 5 years away from winning a Super Bowl.
No, not winning it. You got to.
I just want to listen. I'm not even begging to win a Super Bowl, but I'd like to see a Super Bowl appearance for the Miami Dolphins. I'd like to see that in my lifetime. I mean, because I was way too young for Marino's rookie year.
I'm about to be 42 on Saturday, everybody. But anyway. Marino's like that. I remember that's one of the first Super Bowls I remember watching, and Marino was whatever. And then we had all these good teams, but we couldn't beat the Bills. It was frustrating.
I love those Bills. I talk about still.
The Bills we couldn't beat.
Well,
kids nowadays don't realize Bills.
You say that like that's like an embarrassment because Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, and Jim Kelly alone. We're not even talking defense. Exactly. We're not even going on the defense side. I mean that team, that they should have won a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
That's another name. Listen. Thank you for stopping by.
Ask
Joe. Joe Schulz, he's giving his personal numbers out. You can hear him Tuesday night, 6 p.m. on the Ask Joe radio show. You can find more information about that right on Facebook as well. You can just go right in the search bar and type in Ask Joe radio show. If you need to ask Joe, he makes himself available. Thank you so much for coming on in today. We appreciate your time and look forward to having you on many more times in the future.
Take care, bud.
We out.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.